What does power look like behind closed doors? Not in public speeches, not in press conferences, not even in boardrooms, but in private emails. Tonight, we take you inside millions of messages released by the U.S. Department of Justice. Messages connected to Jeffrey Epstein. What they reveal isn't just the behavior of one convicted predator. They expose something far bigger. A global boys' club. A modern patriarchy operating quietly through favors, flattery, silence, and women kept permanently at the margins. This is the story of power, access, and a system where women were present, but never truly invited to the table. Imagine opening an email at random from the Epstein files. It's February 2013, a Saturday evening. Jeffrey Epstein is messaging Bill Gates' assistant about a dinner party. He begins listing names. The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Woody Allen, the Prime Minister of Qatar, Harvard academics, a Hyatt billionaire, a White House communications director, a former U.S. Secretary of Defense, 10 powerful men. Then suddenly, and Hathaway, really, the parenthesis matters. Epstein feels compelled to clarify that he's serious, because suggesting a woman at this table is unusual. The list ends with a question. Victoria's Secret models? And finally, who on the list do you think you would enjoy the most? This single email captures everything. Men are invited for influence. Women are suggested for decoration. The Epstein files reveal two separate universes. First, the men. Billionaires, tech founders, politicians, bankers, global leaders. These are people Epstein cultivates. They offer access. They offer leverage. They offer power. Then there are the women. They appear as plus ones, as assistants, as people flown across continents, as bodies to be managed, evaluated, corrected. Emails discuss women's teeth, their weight, their medical treatments, their appearance. Epstein even advises one woman to consider cosmetic surgery before turning 23. To men, Epstein writes, Thorbjorn Jagland will be staying in New York with me. You might find him interesting. To women, his messages are blunt and degrading. The contrast is chilling. Men receive introductions. Women receive commands. Behind Epstein stand a network of female assistants. At the center is Leslie Groff, his long-term executive assistant. She organizes everything. Schedules, flights, hotels, and yes, snacks. When Larry Summers visits, Groff reminds colleagues, Larry is VIP. Make sure we have snacks. Again later, something snack-y for Larry. She coordinates with other assistants across the elite world. Elon Musk's team, Richard Branson's staff, sharing notes about wine preferences and dessert choices. Meanwhile, Epstein's calendar circles endlessly between New York, Paris, London, and Los Angeles. Groff smooths every detail with calm professionalism. Leave it with me. I'll take care of it. She also manages the women Epstein moves internationally. Flights booked, visas arranged, pickup locations sent, girls to meet at 71st Street with their IDs, helicopters to East Hampton, tickets charged to Epstein's Black Amex, steam rooms serviced, bedroom internet checked. When mistakes happen, Groff is reprimanded. Gratitude is rare. Efficiency is expected. When women aren't present, the tone changes. Men become casual, crude, unfiltered. One businessman messages Epstein complaining that a woman flown in doesn't match her photo. Photoshop, Epstein replies. They exchange remarks about women's bodies like product reviews. Birthday messages end with wishes for lots of pee. Friends joke about sex as a health supplement. Even respected intellectuals participate. Noam Chomsky advises Epstein to ignore criticism, calling it hysteria about abuse of women. Larry Summers continues seeking romantic advice from Epstein, despite Epstein's prior conviction involving a minor. What emerges is not shock. It's normalization. This is how power talks when it assumes no one is listening. One exchange stands out. Epstein's assistants coordinate travel to Richard Branson's private island. They ask if Epstein can bring Gates' assistant and 2 Russian girls. Branson replies within minutes. That's fine. Later, assistants mention the women don't have UK visas. Again, that's fine. No one asks who these women are. No one asks why they're coming. No concern is shown that Epstein is a convicted sex offender. The conversation treats human beings like luggage. Approved, processed, moved along. The men message constantly. Where are you? New York? San Francisco? Shanghai? Wimbledon? They trade access. They trade favors. Epstein helps with job placements. Lets friends use his apartment. Connects people to powerful figures. In 2019, Epstein asked Steve Bannon which journalists might be friendly, offering an introduction to Chomsky in return. One friend edits Epstein's Wikipedia page. They remove sex offender, replace it with businessman, philanthropist. Philanthropy itself becomes a tool used to extend influence and obscure darker dealings. Helping each other maintain status is routine. Protection is collective. Behind closed doors, Epstein manages the women in his orbit. He orders medical tests, suggests hormone checks, recommends tantric sex classes. One woman writes in desperation, "I dress like you told me. I did my hair like you asked. We had sex. I massaged you nonstop. I danced even when I didn't want to." Another is excluded from Epstein's elite dinners. He complains she is crying and whining. She wants to attend. He refuses, because these dinners are not for women. Women are not meant to participate. They're meant to comply. They're meant to wait. They're meant to dance. Some will dismiss the Epstein files as evidence of one monster. But that's too easy. Strip away the crude language, and what remains is a blueprint of everyday patriarchy. Power maintained through silence. Influence traded casually. Women reduced to logistics. Reputation protected at all costs. Epstein didn't operate alone. He operated inside a system where powerful men looked the other way, where assistants made everything run smoothly, where women existed on the margins, and where the table was always reserved for men. If this investigation mattered to you, subscribe to Documentary Times, because the most important stories are often hidden in plain sight.